This is our start of our kickoff of our campaign for the 21st Century Manufacturing Zone Act. It will be item number 11 on constitutional amendments on the general election on November 8th. And one of the things I think we need to look at is this is informational for people so they can understand why this amendment is on there. This amendment is on there because it's for jobs, it's for industry. It allows mega projects in the state of Alabama, and it allows a unique system of financing for those mega projects. What it actually allows is the revenues that are generated off of the taxes from the mega projects that comes in. That's what is used for infrastructure, for roads, for sewer, for water, for land, for new projects that are coming in. And these are new projects that are bringing in jobs. Over $100 million investment, over 250 acres of land are some of the parameters that has to meet. And this is to bring in jobs. And this came very apparent to us in the city of Huntsville back when we did the Volkswagen competition over 10 years ago. When we competed for Volkswagen 10 years ago, we were at a site that had not been pre-certified. We did not know if it had sewer, did not know if it had water, did not know about electricity. Now we have pre-certified sites, which we have the TVA certified site out in Limestone County. When 10 years ago, when we talked to Volkswagen about how we were going to actually provide what we had to provide, how we were going to pay for what we were going to provide, we always told them we have to go to the legislature and we have to make sure that as we go through the legislature, we can get some legislation passed to make this happen. Our neighboring states, which we were competing with, already had that in place, already had that infrastructure in place. And by having that infrastructure in place, consequently, they won Volkswagen. 6,000 jobs. And with those 6,000 jobs comes another 15,000 spin-off jobs off of that. So Chattanooga got a great boost in the arm because we weren't ready. This is one of the projects that gets us ready. This amendment gets us ready. Last year we went through and we redid our state system of commerce and how we could make sure that we could bring industry in, and we even that playing field with our sister states across the southeast. And this evens that playing field even more by giving local governments the same power that the state government has in this. And this gives us the power to actually, the revenue that comes off of the development itself is what ends up paying for that infrastructure, paying for those roads, paying for the sewer, paying for the land, paying to bring jobs to Alabama. And so across this state, there are over 80 sites that can use this type of financing and use what is found in this amendment to provide that financing. And those 80 sites are all the way across from north, south, east, and west Alabama. And this can bring jobs on a regular basis to the state of Alabama. It's about jobs, it's about industry, it's about prosperity. I want to thank our partners who have worked with us very, very closely in this. The Alabama State Legislature, Representative Anthony Daniels handled this bill on the floor for us. State Senator Steve Livingston handled it in the Senate for us. And they did a wonderful job because they came through with the Senate voted 28-0 for this, so it was unanimous in the Senate side. The House vote was 98-0, which means that it was unanimous in the House. So whenever you can get anything that comes through unanimous in the House and in the Senate both, to put it up for a vote of the people, you can be very sure that it is something that that has some advantages to the state of Alabama. And at this point, I'd like to ask Anthony Daniels, our state representative, to come up and speak to us and address this.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Battle. Thank you, Senator Livingston. President Cherry, thank you for all that you do here to ensure that North Alabama remains competitive with the rest of the state and attracting industry here. This was an easy task for me. City working in partnership with the City of Huntsville, my colleague in the Senate, Senator Livingston, and the rest of the North Alabama delegation. This particular piece of legislation, started out as a piece of legislation, will make North Alabama and the rest of the state more competitive for industry. As Mayor Battle indicated about the Volkswagen deal, that's just one example. We see other states moving in the direction of trying to be more competitive for jobs that are coming from other places, whether it's international jobs or whether it's jobs right here at home that may be in a different region. This is a great opportunity for us to, a tool that can be used for economic development all throughout the state of Alabama. Right here in Huntsville, we have a number of sites that can take advantage of this particular, the constitutional amendment. It has to be, as Mayor Battle indicated, 250 contiguous acres, $100 million investment. And let me be clear, this is not a tax. This is not going to cost the taxpayers any more money. This is not an incentive to give away to companies without a return on investment. This is merely a tool that we're going to be able to use, local government will be able to use in order to be more competitive with attracting industry to their areas. So this is not limited to North Alabama. This is something that the entire state of Alabama can take advantage of. And that's why it was very attractive to me, and this is the way I explain it to my colleagues. So I want to thank all of you for the support that have been given around the state, all of my colleagues in the House, the Senate, the governor, and also local government and Mayor Battle and the Chamber for their support of helping us advance this particular piece of legislation. And so I'm excited about this. This is a great amendment that I urge everyone out there to vote for, Amendment 11. This is something that's going to really help move Alabama beyond where we are today. And right here in Alabama, we've seen job growth, unemployment rate go down. We want to see it to continue to go down. And this is a tool that's going to help us get to where we need to be so that all people, regardless of where they are in this state, will be in a position to help them help themselves. And that's going to be good for our local community. That's going to be good for the state of Alabama and also our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'd also like to ask Senator Steve Livingston to address this, because Steve was the floor manager of this in the Senate side, and as I said, Senate passed this 28-0, so it was unanimous on the Senate side, and I'm not sure I remember a unanimous vote in a long time on the Senate side. So, Steve, would you please address this?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here this afternoon, Mayor, Representative, and President Cherry. It probably wasn't as simple as you let it on to believe in the Senate, but it is a good piece of legislation. Last year, the Alabama legislature passed 3 bills that took our economic package and put us on an even plane with the rest of the states, even into the top 6 states in the country as reported. This piece of legislation, when it's passed, will bring Alabama forward and give us a hand up above all the other states that we compete against, especially for these large mega projects. So we appreciate the opportunity to do this. Representative Daniel said he'd be brief, so I'll be the brief one today. Thank you very much.
And finally, you know, when you start talking about jobs and prosperity, jobs does mean prosperity for your area. Jobs mean standard of living. Jobs mean that you have a better life. And that's what this is all about. The kind of companies that you will bring here will be industrial companies, there will be technological companies. They will be companies that come from across the board, but their standard of living raises the standard of living for the whole state of Alabama. So it's something very important. And to finish this up, I'd like to call on Chip Cherry, President of the Huntsville Madison County Chamber of Commerce, just to finish it up with some closing comments.
Thank you. This is a wonderful example of the partnership we have with the legislature at the state and local level, and being able to initiate this type of discussion. As an example, Polaris would have qualified for this particular piece of legislation to allow the taxes that are generated by that new facility to pay for all of the local infrastructure associated with that. And Polaris is now well above $100 million in investment and well north of 400 employees from throughout the region who are working there. That kind of project requires this type of tool to be able to secure them and bring them to the market. And this is something that is not unique to North Alabama. This is something that will be an empowering tool for people across the state. As the mayor mentioned, I think there are 80 sites across the state of Alabama, and there are probably other sites that have not been identified yet that would also qualify for this, that would give us an additional tool to compete on a level playing field with people throughout the rest of the southeastern United States as we go out and try to bring in new jobs. So we are excited about this opportunity and look forward to having further discussions about the merits of this particular program, and hope people will vote to support Amendment 11.